This is Al Bain from Al Bain for Leather, and I want to talk about cutting a line using a ruler with any one of these tools. Okay, so what we have here is a basic ruler. It's a metal ruler. There's nothing fancy to it. It's just a metal piece of metal. And then here's another, quilter's ruler. This one just kind of fell off the table and broke the end off. And then a rolling knife, which is my preferred method for cutting upholstery weight materials. And then there's a couple head knives that Terry Nipshield makes. Those are just there to marvel because they're so beautiful. But anyway, people put up videos talking about how to use this ruler, and then inevitably they'll just hold them down with their fingertips like this. Okay, and the unfortunate reality is if you just hold it like this, it doesn't take a whole lot to shift it around on the table. Right? It'll push it around. The edge of your blade will shift the ruler out of the way. Same thing with this one. So the way you hold it is going to influence how it stays on the table or against your leather piece, right? So people recommend putting cork or buying a ruler with a cork back or something. That's just, trying to compensate for poor technique. So here's how we do it, okay? So what we do is let's hypothetically say we're going to cut along this edge. On my side, where my hand is, on the left side of this particular ruler, I'm going to brace my finger on the table. Basically, just put my fingers down along the table, and then I'm going to put that pressure between the ruler and the table and hold the ruler like that. So I usually use my ring finger and my thumb and then put my index and middle finger down, and now the friction from my thumb and ring finger in contact with the table makes it really hard to move, and then my index finger and ring finger pushing down keeps pressure on it. Right? So that's kind of how you hold the ruler, and then the edge pressure from the knife sliding against it doesn't allow the ruler to move at all because my fingers are planted on the table. Okay? So let's look at it. Now, here's a little line that I drew to cut. I want to cut the line clean off, so I'm going to give myself a teeny bit of black where I can see that the whole line is about to come off. And I'm going to brace against my ruler, against the table, between the leathers between my fingers and the table, the rulers between my fingers, the leather and the table, and I'm all braced off. I don't think I can hold this and cut at the same time. Give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can find a way to hold the phone. That looks like it's going to work pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to line my ruler up, make sure that all of my mark is going to come off, or most of it anyway. I'm going to brace my thumb on the table, brace my ring finger, put pressure down with my index and middle finger, open my blade up, and slide it along. Okay, now look. The ruler can't move no matter how hard I push, and we get a good clean cut. This has been your good friend Al Bain for Leather, trying to talk about tips and tricks so that you can use your native tools a little easier without having to find a bunch of cork or sandpaper or anything to prevent them from slipping. Simply put your fingers and wedge them against the table and between the ruler and the table, and you should be good to go. Please pay it forward.